ladies and gentlemen, I'm John Gray. We're just plain living here, and it's Thanksgiving week.
And I'm thankful to be here.
I'm thankful you are here.
I'm Peggy Burton, by the way. Good
I don't
morning.
think anybody out there knows that, Peggy.
Well, I don't know you. I'm sure.
They all know
I'm sure
who
there's
Peggy Burton
plenty.
is.
I'm sure there's plenty. It's like an exciting week, really. You know, Thanksgiving.
Yes, heavens, yes.
I always look forward to Thanksgiving.
Where are you going to go? Where are
I'm
you
just going to
Thanksgiving
sit
in?
down at my table at my house, and some people I love are showing up, and you know, that's good.
They coming to Mama?
Well, Shannon and Dan. My son will come Christmas,
Yeah.
so that'll be nice too. But
Are the
we'll scope it. I mean, you know,
are any of the Kemp girls and Hewlin girls showing up?
well, not this time. They're in different places. I'm trying to remember where they all are, but you know, they know where I am, and they show up. Lots of good times.
Lots of good times.
I love them.
They're all busy people.
Yes, they are.
And life's busy.
Life gets busier. I never thought it would be that way. I thought I'd be my age and have nothing to do.
Well, there are a lot of people that way because they choose to do nothing, and you choose to still be involved in life.
Well, I try to be, and I don't know if I'm, you know,
You're
should be there.
you're as viable right now as you were 30 years ago.
I just can't. I guess I'm kind of unstoppable at the moment.
You
but
are unstoppable.
Something will stop me. That's the way life is.
Life will stop you.
Life will stop me, and I know that, you know.
And then you'll move on
But I
to
can't
higher
worry.
ground.
I just can't worry about it.
Nah.
Not yet. I can't worry about
Not
it.
yet. Speaking about unstoppable and being involved, this past weekend was the Young Musician Showcase.
Yes.
And it was just outstanding.
We have some fabulous young people in this town with talent that is just massive. And I want to say thank you to Fran Gray for putting beautiful flowers on the stage. I don't know when the stages look better. Well, she's done it before, so it always looks good, but she just has that magic touch. Yes.
She loves doing flowers. She loves arranging flowers, and there's a part of her that's whimsical that doesn't really show up in other places in her
But
life.
when it comes to decorating.
But when it comes to doing flowers. and most of the stuff she does is whimsical, and I just think it's wonderful that that's a way for that to show up. I think we all have whimsical sides of our life and fairy tale sides of our life, but life doesn't allow most people to let it show.
To let it show. And
it's always good
you have to
a
open up
place
and let it in, you know.
Yeah, open up the door and let it in.
But yes, those young people, this was Chloe's last
Fuller.
year. And my goodness, I just have to thank Tom Maurer for what he's done. He's taught her for a long time. And Lisa Maurer, my goodness, she has some wonderful students. And I can't name the other teachers that had students involved, but all the students were just really good. And they deserve a place to showcase. So I appreciate the fact that South Jackson lets us do this showcase each year.
And I think we're going to have a little
My
bit
nose
of
is
that,
itching.
maybe a little bit of that on the show today.
Oh, wonderful.
So, and of course, we had some of the young people here prior to
Yeah, we had Elizabeth that played violin.
and she's a lovely young lady. And there were young men playing sousaphones or whatever they are.
And that young lady that played the humongous horn that was bigger than her.
Yeah.
And she's just so cute. And anyway, they all did a great job. And it takes discipline. It takes hours of practice. One of my students, Alexa Thompson, was on the show, and Isaac Lee had laryngitis, so he couldn't sing, but all these kids, they rehearse hours.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. And if you want to be a great musician, I hope the world understands that theater is fabulous, but it's nice to have a good set of musicians in the orchestra pit.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And
Yes, it is.
so I feel like
And,
we
you know,
need to push them.
Chloe was privileged to be invited to Interlochen, which is probably the most prestigious high school camp in the
In the
United
world,
States.
right,
And she ended up being first chair there.
which I'm not surprised.
And the piece that she played, you think about a saxophone player, you know, all of us sort of think about some blues band or horn band from
Yeah.
Memphis.
Playing
You know,
saxophone.
She played a French piece, and the music that Lisa had to play with her was incredibly complicated.
Absolutely.
Not anybody could play what Lisa had to play to back her up.
Well, you can tell why I sit in the audience and Lisa accompanies my students on piano,
Right.
because I'm not a pianist.
Oh, she's brilliant.
She really is.
Brilliant,
She's
really good.
wonderful.
And, you know, that's just another thing that happens at South Jackson Civic Center that a lot of people don't realize. There's that center is there for entertainment and for education.
Right.
And a lot of the things that Peggy brings in are a little out of pocket maybe in a lot of people's lives because it's about jazz or blues or this.
Or Broadway,
and
or
it's educational, and these
Speaking
young
of,
people need to see these things.
we have Terry Barber coming on December 17th, and along with him, I can't think of her name, but we have this great Nashville pianist that's coming down here. And then I have a nephew that is a cellist that's played all over the world, and he will come and help accompany Terry Barber, who's coming out of New Jersey. So, and
To
Terry,
Tullahoma,
to Tullahoma.
to
And,
perform for you.
and Terry Barber has performed in the greatest halls in the world. And he's doing a lot of the Andrew Lloyd Webber stuff, and plus other things. But
Right.
he sings opera, he sings everything you can imagine. But this will be a wonderful program. I hope people will come out. That's December
Yeah.
17th.
December 17th. And, you know, this is the weekend of Thanksgiving and one of my favorite times of the year to just be thankful for being here.
That's true, and we need to
You know,
always
we all don't
take
get
that
to be here.
opportunity to just thank the people around you, the people you love, and the businesses that stay open so you can shop all day and night sometimes.
yeah.
You know, we have a lot to be thankful for living in Tullahoma, Tennessee.
And it's family and it's friends, and gather them around. And I don't care if you don't do anything but watch Uncle Fred sleep over in the corner, you know, because you don't know when Uncle Fred might not be there anymore.
That's true. It takes me back to when we were in the military, and it was Vietnam War, and so many young soldiers that, you know, were nowhere near anybody's home, and we always packed as many in our house as we could. And after dinner, they'd all just pass out and go to sleep on the floor and on the chairs. And that made me feel so good because I knew they felt at home.
You're right, right.
There's-
And I can remember going to my great grandmother grandfather Tidwell down Dixon County, and that was in a farm where the sun didn't shine but about 6 hours a day because it was in a valley
Oh my
farm,
gosh, yeah.
one of those
I know
old
what that's
valley
like.
farms. And great grandpa Tidwell died on his tractor at 96.
Isn't that great?
And but we'd go down there, and you know, that time, Thanksgiving time and funeral time are the two times that no matter what you've done, Uncle Carl was an outlaw. He was a honky-tonk musician, drank whiskey, and played in bars and ran women, and probably went to jail 2 or 3 times, and nobody wanted anything to do with him, except when somebody died and Thanksgiving Day, he was welcomed with open arms into the family. Because no matter what you do in life, no mistake's so big that it takes you away from your family.
I would hope not.
You know,
I
most
think,
of the time.
We have to be forgiving. We have to be accepting, and everybody has different lifestyles. And
Sure.
There's some.
Let them live.
Let them live.
Let them live. But what'd be fun as a little guy, you know, you're this tall, and you're watching, and in comes Uncle Carl or Uncle Fred or somebody like that with a new car. And of course the women are inside cooking and doing all this stuff, and of course the guys all go out to kick the tires. You know, everybody's got to look at who's got the newest car.
Yeah.
And then while they're all out there, somebody will go over and open a trunk, and the next thing you know, they're all over there sipping something.
There's something in his trunk, yeah.
You know, and so the old women are cooking and talking about the weather. The old men are talking about the weather, and the old women are talking about old men. You know, great line for a song. Randy Travis did
There you
that
go.
song. You know?
Yeah.
But it's a wonderful time. Be thankful for what we have. Be thankful to be living in this great little community we're in. As embattled as it is, seemingly, about some things, it's still
It's
the greatest place
it's
we
the
could
greatest
find
place.
to be.
I was watching TV last night, and they were doing a special on Somalia, and it's just as heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have water, they don't have anything, no grass, no food, and we have more than enough to be thankful for. Anyway,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people suffering in this world, and hopefully we can push ahead and help some people out.
Yeah, yeah. So be thankful for what you have.
Oh, are you going to kill a turkey?
Say a little blessing, huh?
Are you going to kill a turkey? You
Kill
know,
a turkey? No, I'm killing.
President Biden pardoned
we're
two
going-
turkeys yesterday.
We're going to see Mr. and Miss Corrington for
Good.
Thanksgiving. We
Now,
ever
are
since
they-
they moved to town, they lived on the end of the street from us, and we invited them to Thanksgiving. The first Thanksgiving they were here, 30 odd years ago, and we've had Thanksgiving together ever
That
since.
is awesome.
Because they didn't know anybody. They
Yeah.
were from California, and we invited them down to our house
And they've been coming
started
ever
a
since.
relationship that brought Tom Corrington on to television
Wonderful
here for
man.
years.
Wonderful
And so
family.
we're going to go visit, spend
Good.
Thanksgiving with Mr. and Miss Corrington.
I
And,
love that.
And he likes to smoke a turkey. So we'll have smoked
So he's
turkey,
gonna
and then
smoke a turkey.
I like to make ham, because I am one.
No.
So it'll be fun, and we hope you have fun. We're going to have some really entertaining things on today's show, so don't turn away right now. We'll be back after these commercial messages.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no. This warrior will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Straight out of high school, married in the fall. The whole town turned out and said we had it all. Well, I was your captain, yeah, you were my queen. We bought a small farm in the middle of nowhere. Didn't have a clue what we were doing there, all by our lonesomes, Athens, Tennessee. John Deere can't pull us out of this hole. There ain't a combine that can reap what we've sown. We just keep plowing through and never gaining ground, oh, gaining ground. We'll need more than 40 acres to turn this thing around. There's a little piece of 40 acres.
I like that. I've heard that. I've heard that before.
Thank you.
When did you write that?
A long time ago. Wrote that with Ronnie Palmer and Megan Manley, and we play that almost at every show we can. So
That's great.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lee Gibson, and I've known him since seems like since high school, but
probably
and you grew up and things happened and you're successful in almost everything you do.
Well, I don't know about all that, but
I think so. I think
do,
so.
I do okay. I mean, I'm finally able to make a living.
Man. I can tell you're a happy man.
I'm a lot happier now than I have been.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
I know you have some stuff coming up,
Yes, ma'am.
so let's talk about that.
Sure thing. I'll tell you, we're actually, this is my 4th year we're on a Christmas tour. This year we're kicking it off in Bell Buckle at the Bell Buckle Banquet Hall.
Banquet Hall. Love it
That is
there.
a tongue twister too. And that's December the 9th. We've been selling tickets real well for that. This is the
Good.
second year we've actually done that show there. So
And it's you and
it's actually just me and my guitar player.
And
I
you-
may have a guest if we sell enough tickets ahead of time. I've got a guy kind of on the
Right.
back burner, you know, because he's fantastic and he does draw well.
and so what time of day is this?
That's It's a 7 o'clock at night.
7 o'clock.
Doors open at 5:30.
Are they doing dinner?
They will offer a
Oh
dinner.
my gosh, dinner is always fabulous at Bell Buckle Banquet Hall.
It's hard to beat it.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
the same
telling
people
you.
that cook for it's the same people who own the cafe.
Right.
So the food is good.
Greg Heineke.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful man, and his workers also, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
food they put out just blows my mind.
That entire staff, they have been nothing
So
but gold to me.
I'm trying to think of the phone number, or you can go online at Bell Buckle Banquet Hall, I'm
They
sure,
should
and get a
have the
ticket.
link to that. If not, you can definitely get them through my website, leegibsonmusic.com.
Okay.
I'm easily found there, as well as anywhere on Facebook under Lee Gibson Band or Lee Gibson Music.
Right.
And it's Gibson with a B. So I'm readily found.
You're
Yeah.
not hard to.
I am not hard
You
to
can't
find.
lose you.
No.
That's great. Well, I'm so glad you're doing it, because Bell Buckle Banquet Hall is one of my favorite
Mm-hmm.
places to be, and I'm upset because they decided not to cook Thanksgiving dinner. So
I haven't talked to Greg. I'll have to have words with him.
you'll have to have a word.
I'll write
yeah.
him a strongly worded letter.
And so, have you got anything else coming up besides that?
This year, I mean, we've got Bell Buckle on the 8th. We have South Pittsburgh, Tennessee at the Princess Theater on the 9th, Manchester, Georgia on the 10th, and then we've got something that may be happening in Signal Mountain the weekend
Great.
after that. Yeah, it's.
So you're going to be busy.
Yes, ma'am.
That's-
I'll be traveling.
There's
yeah.
nothing a musician likes more than to be busy.
That's top 5 for me.
It's an interesting thing to me. You can lay out all night, play all night, get up the next day and do it again.
Oh yeah.
And you can act like you're tired, and you will be tired, but then when the lights hit, you're on.
We had an acoustic show here recently, this past weekend at the Orange Blossom in Winchester, and it's a small venue. It seats very limited, and we sold it out. It's the first time I've had
That's great.
what I call a sellout show.
Yeah.
And I had a number of people who were a little perturbed with me because I didn't save them tickets. So I'm sorry.
So
I don't
maybe
have,
next
I
time.
can't save tickets. It's online.
Yeah.
But we sold it out, 2 weeks before the show, and I was just, seriously, we did that with 3
That is
Facebook.
fabulous. So
three
you're still
Facebook
doing a
posts.
lot of writing?
I'm writing, yes, I am doing some writing. I've slowed down a little bit now that we've got a baby in the house.
Right,
And
makes
I've got
a
a little
difference.
almost 11-month-old, so he owns my time.
Has he started picking yet?
No, he is. He's not even walking. He doesn't even have any words other than, I think we're getting mama and what.
Yeah, I recently saw the sweetest picture. It was a gentleman that played guitar, and he had this tiny baby laying on the top of the guitar. And just by hearing what you do, they're affected. I know they
yeah.
are. And I sang to my babies in the womb, and I think that's important. All right, I know you got another song you might do.
I do. And we've got seriously just enough time for it. So this is actually a Christmas song that Tracy Goodman wrote, and I did not write a single word of it.
That's all right.
I did some
You can
arranging
sing
on
it.
it, but this is planned to be released probably next year because we couldn't get everything cleared until then.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's called He Is Christmas Day. Shopping mall is full of life, people wondering what to buy. I need a gift for my mom and dad. How much money should I spend? Seems my list will never end. What can I buy for my dearest friend? Decorations everywhere. All the people stop and stare at the baby lying in the manger scene. As I look into their eyes, I wonder if they realize who he is and what he really means. Well, he's the Son of God, the King of all kings. Let the world rejoice, hear the angels sing. Chosen one from heaven above, sent from God to show us his love. He is the way, he is Christmas Day. Well, he's the Son of God, the King of all kings. let the world rejoice, hear the angels sing. He's the gift that money can't buy. His love for you will never die. He is the way, He is Christmas Day. His name is Jesus, He is Christmas Day.
That is absolutely beautiful.
I love it.
I love it too.
She hired me to sing a demo for her, and the engineer and I sat down, we were finishing things up, and he said, dude, you need to do something with that. So
Oh, yeah.
you know, we're going to. I'm going to actually re-record it as soon as I can.
Well, it's beautiful. The lyrics are beautiful, and I like the way it moves into different. It just is perfect for
you.
Christmas. I think we get tied up in Holly Jolly Christmas, and this is a wonderful tribute to what Christmas should be.
Exactly.
And thank you, Lee. My goodness, I love seeing you. I hope you're going to come back and play for us again one day on our stage. And I want to hear the results of that song, and I'll be waiting for it to go on number one.
Thank you.
Lee Gibson.
Thank y'all.
We'll be back.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. 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 Woo.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size.
Yeah.
Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman.
And I'm Pat Welch, and we are here today, John, with the 57th segment of the Discussions with John and Pat.
Wow. We're going to talk about Robert Osteen.
Okay.
And of course he went to Forest School where I went, and but he was from
So what year would he have graduated?
1950.
Okay.
And I was 65, so there's a 15-year difference between us two.
Yeah.
But we both lived in Marshall County, and this little song about swapping knives on the courthouse square in Marshall County. Well, I was bumming around in Lewisburg, getting kind of hot and tired. So I took the seat beneath the big shade tree in the Marshall County Courthouse yard. There was men standing round over halls, their pockets filled with merchandise. They was chewing tobacco, whittling cedar, telling jokes and swapping knives. Well, an old man walked up to me, a carving on a piece of wood, saying, "Hey, young feller, how you trade on knives?" And the one he had looked good. Well, I looked it over and I gave it back. He said, "Hold on, son, I got more." He pulled out a sack filled with knives. He looked like a walking store. That's what he said. "What do you give me for a tree brand boker with a tree on every blade? Here's a John D. Primoletta, genuine Barlow, and Iana Kissing Crane. Here's a double X case and an old hen rooster, a queen and an old time charade. I make no money on my knives, I just like trade." Well, I reached down into my blue jeans and I pulled out my old knife. I figured that it wasn't worth too much, I'd carried it half my life. But when he offered me a brand new knife for my old piece of blade, I thought to myself, "You old fool, yes sir, it's a deal, I'll trade." Well, the old man kind of chuckled as he walked away from me. He didn't have nothing to laugh about as far as I could see. When I saw a fella give him $100 for that old knife of mine, I recollected every word in that old knife swapper's line. That's what he said again. "What do you give me for a tree brand boker with a tree on every blade? Here's a John D. Primoletta, genuine Barlow, and Iana Kissing Crane. Here's a double X case and an old hen rooster, a queen and old time charade. I make no money on my knives, I just like to trade." You liar. Oh, May. I have deer.
He probably didn't beat you as bad as your uncle did on that guitar, though, did he?
No, that's right. Hey, Uncle Johnny got me on that guitar. But Robert Osteen, let's see, he was at Tullahoma. He was assistant
was
coach in
Tullahoma the
football.
first? Was that his first job?
I think he went to Lynchburg.
Okay.
I think he was at Lynchburg.
Because he helped Coach Cooper in the mid-'60s.
Then he came, the Tommy Whitaker
and he was a baseball coach, too.
were assistant coaches.
Yeah.
And Dub Cooper was the head coach. And then Mr. Osteen.
He went to Franklin County in about 66 or 67.
Went to Franklin County,
like
and
that.
he was over there with Moose Bowling.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got a job at South Junior High as the principal. And I remember Mr. Osteen, he'd always say funny things. He said, "Somebody told me, why are you quitting coaching your football? There's a lot of prestige to that." Mr. Osteen said, "Well, you can't eat prestige." He always had something clever to say.
I believe he did his master's work with emphasis on middle schools.
He did.
Which was just coming in.
Jim Burns, the people back at that time, the school board and all, were aiming
superintendent
toward
at Tullahoma.
That's right, toward the reorganizing the schools. So
Right.
we went from a junior high, which I was part of for sure, and then in 1976, 77, somewhere in that era, that we changed to the middle school concept. It was right in the middle of the year. Some of the kids went on to the some kids went to the high school and missed their 9th grade year at Easton. So it was interesting. But
I may have student taught John the last year, or the year before, rather, before they made the change. The last
well,
year.
you were in the new building.
No, I was in the old one.
You were in the old building?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh. Well, the old building was certainly old. It was
a good old school built in 27 or 28. It's the first
right.
public high school in Tullahoma.
But let's show a picture of Mr. Osteen, if you would, Philip. That's not a very good picture, and it's due to the poor quality of camera on my cell phone, which is not really a very good cell phone.
We've pleaded with him to upgrade his phone, and there's one of the reasons why we've been trying to plead with him.
Well, one of these days I'll get me something else, but this one hadn't broke yet, Pat.
I understand.
Waiting for it.
That's right.
But Mr. Osteen was our principal, and you have something to say. Benny Garrett filled you in.
Well, we said that we probably need to go back. He went from South to Tullahoma and to the East Middle School because they were he was kind of a hot item.
Yeah.
It was really in vogue middle schools, and he had this extra work towards his master's with emphasis on middle schools, and so Tullahoma hired him away from Franklin County. So he came back, and he was served the rest of his professional career at East Middle School, and was John's principal. And John's right. We've talked about Coach Osteen a couple times here, but I ran into Benny Garrick on the golf course not long ago, and he pointed to his golf cart like, "Sit in my office. I need something to share with you." and so I want to relay that in there. He when he left Chapel Hill, which would have been, I guess, coming up this school year 50-51, somebody, and he was going to go to Middle Tennessee and play football, and somebody in town told him, said, "You'll never let her." And said it just set his eyes steely, and he made up his mind he was going to let her. And he ended up lettering 4 times in football, 3 in wrestling, and 4 in baseball. And that's pretty incredible there. And he said that he didn't wrestle his senior year, and I'm assuming that he was a really good baseball player, and he had maybe an idea that if he had a really good baseball year that he possibly might get a minor league contract. But I guess he decided that he'd rather teach and coach, and started doing that. But on top of that, now he got 11 varsity letters at MTSU. His senior year at Forest, they blocked 10 punts, which had been an incredible amount of punts blocked for 1 year for a high school. And of those 10, Coach Osteen personally blocked 7 of them.
Yeah.
That's we've talked about before, he was really short, but really strong and really quick and tough.
I think Mr. Osteen had an innate sense of how to get to the ball carrier. I say this for this reason. When I played high school football, every man just held his ground. We didn't stunt. And stunting is one man going this way and the other one going that way and confusing the offensive blocking. Well, we just stood our ground, and sometimes we got knocked, backwards, which is not what you want to get done. But anyway, we just stood our ground, and there was a few games that our coach changed up and we did a little different. But I remember my brother playing under a fellow who'd come from MTSU. His name was Ron Martin, and he said, "Johnny," or he calls me Bubba, he says, "we're running plays on defense." Plays on defense? I'd never heard of such, And so they do that regularly now. It's all the time, everywhere you go. But Mr. Osteen and some of his lineman friends, they would decide to do this stunning on their own. Maybe the coach told them what they might do from time to time, but they did stunning to a certain degree while he was in high school.
I think I've said on here before too that I saw a MTSU annual when he was either sophomore or junior, and of course his picture was in each one of those sports. And in the wrestling picture, they had knickers on with nothing from the waist up, and he looked like an absolute Greek mythology god or something. I mean, if I was him, in the classroom, I'd taken a picture of that and put it up there at front, and nobody.
Don't tread on me.
Nobody would have thought about not saying anything without raising his hand first and ask, "Mr. Osteen, could I now speak?" He was a very imposing figure, even though he's only 5'6", 5'7", something like that.
And we got to say that a little tragedy in the Osteen family here recently. Mr. Osteen died at age 70. And that's several years ago, maybe 15 years ago, a long time ago. But his wife, Carolyn, his widow, Carolyn, just passed away the other day. And, of course, Mr. Osteen had sons, Daryl, Dwayne, and Dwight. Yeah. And all those boys have done well. None of them missed a day of school in their entire career. They probably went sick a lot of time, but Mr. Osteen didn't let them. They had chores, they cut yards, Mr. Osteen had them. They were just like a little scout troop.
It's like being, we've talked about, is it Pottsville where he was raised? What's the name?
Caney Springs.
Caney Springs. And John's taken me over there in some adventures into Marshall County, and You can't do anything in there besides use it as a rock quarry. You've never seen so many rocks, and they farm that. You know, they could have made a living with that being tough.
Mr. Osteen tells me about, he would trap animals when he was young, go down to the produce house in Chapel Hill and sell the fur. And he hunted. He told me one time he got a bad case of rabbit fever. You know, skinning a rabbit, I guess, and having a cut on his hand and maybe letting himself be infected. But he was a great guy. Everybody loved Mr. Osteen, and he was Dub Cooper, the one that he was the head coach. He was the man that kept the even keel about himself, and Tommy Whitaker's kind of similar. Mr. Osteen was that fiery person that the football team needs. They need somebody a little bit wild.
He was Coach Cooper's Tasmanian Devil, really.
Tasmanian Devil, yeah, that's good. Yeah. But it's been good talking about Robert K. Osteen.
Coach Osteen, there he is with one of his classes.
Yes, sir.
Again, the quality of the picture we want to. John won't. I'll apologize for him for having an antiquated phone, but.
And one of these days you'll see better pictures.
That's
and you'll
right.
know I've updated.
That's right. That's right.
But anyway, it's been good being here with you, and if management will allow, Pat.
That's it. This wraps up segment 57, but there's more stories, as John says, if management will allow them. Thank you all.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Clayton's has been Tullahoma's shoe store for over 120 years, and Florence Hall continues that tradition today. We're the only shoe store in town that starts with measuring your foot to make sure you get the perfect fit in a quality shoe. That includes narrow through wide widths for men, women, and children. Clayton Shoes, the family shoe store you'll love.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and it's Thanksgiving time, and you know what that means? That means we're about a week away from the Christmas parade, and we have the Christmas parade queen right here. She's always going to be the Christmas parade queen with the Chamber of Commerce and our prime sponsor, Trent McNabb. Yeah. Tell us about it.
Well, we are planning for the 66th annual Tullahoma Christmas Parade, sponsored by Stan McNabb Automotive. And so thank you so much for having us on, just so that we can
Glad to have you back.
Talk about the parade and promote the parade and encourage people to not only join us in the parade, but attend the parade. And so we're really excited. It's that time
And
again.
it's the what now, 60?
The 66th.
66th?
Yes, sir.
That's a bunch of parades, folks.
Mm-hmm.
and that's just wonderful. And you know what we've done, I think what the Chamber's done in finding a sponsor to really to buy into that and keep that promoted in a proper way, and not, you know, a whole lot of things in little towns sort of die off, and this is something that due to the McNabb Automotive Group has stayed strong, and other sponsors. There's other people involved as well, but your interest and input into it has certainly been a grand help.
Yeah, I think this is our 8th year to be the title sponsor of it, and it's a great community event. And to your point, I mean, the Chamber does such a great job putting it on. We've got a Christmas parade committee helping organize things, lots of volunteers, lots of other sponsors, and it's a well-attended event.
Oh, it is, and you know, the people people line the streets starting at noon. People come and find a parking spot. You know, one of them will drive the other. They'll drive 2 cars and leave a car, and then
That's right.
get in the car with the other one and go back to work. So you got a spot that night.
That's right.
They do. But you know, that just adds to the excitement of the event.
Oh,
that
certainly
people are
it does.
so excited and they're looking forward to it, and they want to make sure they have a great spot. And you know, in years past, we've had a huge crowd, and we just hope that people will come out and support the event. And I think it also is it's exciting no matter how old you are. It gets you excited for Christmas.
Well, you know, and we filmed it for 30 years. And we, up until last year, had to take our studio and break it down, take all the equipment and move it to City Hall, because that's where the feed was, the live feed in City Hall, because we've done it live. And for 30 years, or not quite 30, probably 25 years, we didn't start doing it day one. And now that we've moved here, we have wireless cameras, and we don't even have to do anything except move our set right out on the porch, invite people up, and it's just wonderful for us to be able to do it. And with the cameras we have now, we can walk up and down the street with the cameras, don't have to have any cords or anything, and it comes live straight back to here, straight out to people in their home. So, oh yeah, it's great. Being downtown's a really, really good thing for us. And the parade, I know the church across the street over here, they have they have chili, and there's all kinds of food, and people are doing things, and the kids are just excited, and this is wonderful. And you make a big part of that happen. We appreciate you.
Well, we're glad to support it. Yeah, it's going to be another great year. We've got 2 great grand marshals. We've got a good theme.
The grand marshals are just, who else could it have been? Louis and Ann Baldwin.
Yes, we're so excited to honor them and celebrate them and thank them for all that they've done for the community.
Oh,
and so
unbelievable.
We hope that we'll see you and many other people that have worked with them.
And you, if you want to, anybody, we'll have chairs on the front porch. You can come sit right here. We'll have food. You know, just come on in. Of course, I'm sure you'll be in the parade. Both of you will be. But everybody else, you know, stop by.
Well,
look at it.
And the community also has a great opportunity to come and thank Louis and Ann and celebrate them at the Grand Marshal reception, which is Thursday, December 1st at South Jackson Civic Center, 5:30 p.m. And they will light the Tullahoma City Christmas tree at that event. And so really excited about that. And so we hope that people will come out and celebrate them at that time too.
What are you going to be riding in?
I won't be riding. I'll be a spectator this year.
Oh, you spectate? You're not going?
In the past, I think I've driven the Santa float, been in the Corvette Club, but now with 2 little ones, it's fun sitting there and seeing them watch it.
And their ages are
3 and 5.
Oh, that's perfect.
So they love it.
That is perfect. And the parade's going to start. I mean, for people, because this goes to 6 counties, and you know, there's a lot of people come to the Tullahoma Parade because it is a really good parade.
We do.
And so give our people that aren't Tullahoma people that are going to be coming, where's the parade going to start?
So the parade starts in front of the Tullahoma Post Office and Hart and Realty, and then it goes all the way down to the high school, and so all the way down Jackson Street.
Okay.
But right before the parade, we will have our Mistletoe Mile, where you can, it's a fun run from the post office to Walgreens and back, and we are awarding best dressed. And so anyone that's a runner and they want to come out and have a huge crowd, like you said, they come early and they get their spot. And so there's going to be a good crowd cheering everybody on as they run down to the post office.
Are you a runner?
You know, the terrible joke that I tell is that I run the event. I don't run the event. And so.
But will you be in costume?
No, not. There's no plans for that.
Have you ever put an elf costume on before? You look good in one of those elf costumes.
That I have.
Yeah, you need to try that sometime.
Okay, well, I appreciate that feedback.
I've been watching too many Hallmark movies. But we do appreciate, Trent, we appreciate what your family's done for years here in Tullahoma, and thank you so much for that. And I think it's absolutely perfect for you to be a dad and sit on the street and enjoy it like other dads do.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. Congratulations for you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, and thank you for all you do and coming in and letting everybody know what's going on.
Well, I appreciate you having us.
Anytime. And I guess if someone wanted to, let's get a cheap shot in here, okay? If anybody wanted to buy a brand new car for Christmas, you'd kind of tell them where they need to go.
They need to go to Stan McNabb Automotive and then turn their receipt into the chamber for the shop local promotion they're running.
There you go. And the fact that we are in 6 counties, there's other Stan McNabb stores. Where are they?
In Columbia, Tennessee. Yeah, 2 here in Tullahoma and 1 over in Columbia.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yes.
So go see them. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you, John.
Okay. We'll be back after these messages.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for 1. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, and I have here joining me on the set Jackie Duncan, who I always love seeing him walk in our door.
Amen.
Jackie, what's new?
It's just so much going on right now that, especially at this time of year, we're getting into the giving season, the season of gratitude. Well, every day is a season of gratitude.
It should be.
Should be.
We have so much to be grateful for in this country.
We do. Greatest nation in the world, and sometimes we just get so unhappy about, we can't appreciate it.
Trivial things often.
Trivial things that make us so unhappy, and we can't handle them. I know we do handle them, but you see breakouts every now and then, like people with some real issues that, like, I didn't want to just say shootings or things like that, but people show their worst sides sometimes,
And there's so much of that nowadays, and it always, to me, appears to be for no reason, but maybe there is a reason. I can't imagine it, but...
Well, somebody's having a bad day, maybe, or whatever, but problems, and sometimes we think we got so many great problems, but if you don't have food on your table and
you've got a real problem.
Coming from somewhere, we just don't realize how grateful
we should
be, and I think when we sit down and take the time to realize that we do know how grateful we are, we understand it, that it's just so much for your families. If your family's doing well,
exactly,
reasonably well, they might not have a $1 million home or a fantastic job or whatever else, but if you're making it and doing pretty well, think about other folks that are in the other side of the world that don't have it.
Exactly. We're very fortunate, and I think that we need to remember that our ability to give to other people and help other people is important. And the fact that we have it. A lot of people right here in our community can use some help.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd like it to see that we have a lot of churches that help a lot of people, and a lot of people that help a lot of people, and I'm grateful for that, because it's a giving community, I think.
That's true. And that's the way it ought to be. I think if you sit down and evaluate life itself, just try to, sometimes we just need to sit down and think, well, what is life about? What is this life about? And we can't get a real good understanding. Most of us, and it's this and that, get up, you go to bed, you get up, and you go to work and do whatever you're supposed to do, and all this, you eat, and you do this, you come back home, and tomorrow you do the same, start all over again doing the same thing, and you think you get caught up in a rut a lot of times. This is what life is about, but it's not. And life is a lot more than that.
Life is a lot more.
It's a lot more than that, and we just...
And I think everybody needs to take time every day to be thankful and grateful for what we have in this country.
Amen. And this time of year especially, this is the season, supposedly, well, we say the season of gratitude, but every season ought to be the season of gratitude.
Of course it should.
Every day ought to be a day of gratitude, a day of Thanksgiving. And so I do a sign, an outside sign with my Association of Churches. We have a building over in Winchester, and it's called the Tabernacle.
Yeah.
And we have like 13 churches that are part of that. I mentioned something about it once before on here. And we have like 13 churches who are members of it, and some have been members of that group, this body, for since the 1800s.
Wow.
Since the 1800s. We just celebrated.
That's amazing.
We just celebrated the 150.
That is beautiful.
156 years, I believe,
That
celebration.
is
So I changed the
awesome.
sign over there. There's an outside sign that well, you like to put a message on it.
1020, 150 years, 1880, 1870.
Right
and-
around there, uh-huh. Well, no, Mount Zion Baptist Church here in Tullahoma, which is a church where I attend. I'm a member there, I've been a member all my life. I'm a deacon there, really. And so that church has been here since 1881.
That is wonderful.
The original
And-
structure, and it's on the historical register as being such, you know. But that's just that, and we've been a part of that association for a long time. But I was mentioning something about that because I took it on myself to change that sign.
Oh, did you?
Being a writer and a poet, I get good thoughts, you know, about something that needs to go on a sign, maybe outside, and I thought about that.
So what'd
And
you
the sign
change it
wasn't
to?
It wasn't getting changed. It wasn't getting changed enough
Oh,
for me.
yeah.
So the right messages weren't there. I thought I could put more message, you know, better messages on there because it seemed like it was a chore for somebody else.
Right.
But it was a blessing for
A
me.
blessing for you to do it.
To do it, yeah. And so I just took over the job.
So what's the latest thing you put on the sign? Can you remember?
I don't remember exactly. I did just take a picture of it though,
Yeah.
and of each side. And on one side, I know it says "God bless America."
And that's always good.
That's always a good one. And but there's one of them. There's a lot of sayings you can go out and find on the internet, and a lot of little nice quips and quotes and things. Said something about it. Says what I think one of them said what's missing in CHUCH and up under the bottom is you are. It's what's missing in church is
That's
you are.
cute.
So that was just some little cute things like that. But I forget the one that I put on that. I put my own. I put my own creations on there too.
One of my favorites is my sister had this plaque over her piano. When words fail, music speaks. And I love that.
That's a good one.
And that it's a real good one.
Music
And
always speaks to the heart and to the spirit, and it's a blessing.
And I think I found from, but especially when I was younger and married and we were traveling around the world to different air bases, etc., that music would speak in any country.
It does.
We speak the same language when it comes to music.
Sure does,
And it's a
sure
peaceful thing.
Sure does. And it soothes the most savage beast.
Absolutely.
It does. So anyway, but you know, and I was thinking also that about some things that are going on all around us, and people are so discontent sometimes, you know, and it's just we talked a while back about bullying, and I have seen firsthand the effects of bullying. I talked with someone a while back about when they were in school.
Being bullied.
And went to school and they were bullied. And so if somebody doesn't want to come back to your school reunion, that might be a reason sometimes, you know.
Right.
People don't come back, they grow up and they were bullied in school, they don't have any good memories of it, and then you want to have a reunion 50 years later, but you done burned the bridges all around you that somebody needs to
And that's
get
too
back.
bad. That's
It's a
too bad.
shame. It's a
Because all people change.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I think most bullies have been bullied themselves.
That's true.
You know, and I always have a sense of pity for those people and want to see why it is that they find it necessary.
Yeah, well, usually things that are you've experienced, you tend to pass them on a lot of times, and even brutality and whatever else. If daddy beat mama up or mama beat daddy up or whatever,
Sure.
then you tend to want to do the same,
Want to do the
carry on
same
this
thing.
tradition. Some people do, but some people, so many of them break out of it. Thank God for that.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to do it, and it's a
Break the
blessing.
chain, that's
Break
very
that chain,
important.
Yes, and God will bless you to get you out of anything that you've ever think that you've gotten into, So it's.
I think they've cut us off.
I think you're right.
Jackie, I love talking to you, and you always calm my spirit, and I
Well,
appreciate that.
I am grateful for that.
I guess we'll be back.
You do me.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family. Caring. Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest. Engaging. With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Camera, right
Which
there.
one?
There, see?
Right
I'm
there?
pointing, look.
Okay, yeah, okay, yes.
Over there's mine. Right in the middle is both of us. See, we're showing people how we.
Oh, nice.
This
That's
is Junior
good.
right here,
Yeah.
by the way. And Junior's our guest, next guest, and he is here to talk about something that's near and dear to his heart, and a program that you're putting on and you're involved in. That I think we're going to live stream it too.
Oh, yes, sir, you are.
So tell our audience, and that's your camera, that's your window to the world.
Okay.
Tell the world what Junior's up to.
First, thank you, John, for really having me on, and I'm delighted to be here. Also, thank you guys for really allowing to put the message and the word, our prayer out there, that persons who can't come can stream it live and see the event. We are doing a 48-hour prayer for Coffee County. We had done one before about three years ago.
Right.
And we had done it, but we had done a 24 hours prayer. Marilyn Howard, before she was the mayor, she was a part of that. And and we met at her house and we pray and somewhat. And we had done a few gatherings before where we had the pastors and other leaders, and even the chief would help to lead prayer together. We had done one at Trinity Baptist Church. We had done one at Christ Apostolic Church. But COVID hits and it kind of pushed everything back. It kind of slows everything down. But recently the Lord had laid it on my heart to do a 48-hour prayer. And he said, do it with the media involved, put it out there, have the media to put it so that persons who cannot leave their home, persons who cannot get out there would be able to stream it, would be able to tune in on radio station and hear it, because we have multiple radio stations that's going to promote it as well. And we have our pastors that are heavily involved in it. It is done through the Coffee County's Pastors Fraternal as well. They have endorsed it, and so we could do it with them. And so it's really an honor to really pray. And we are covering basically the 7 spheres of society, or some persons would say the 7 mountains. We are covering government, schools, we are covering the families, we are covering business, we are covering the church, we are covering the first responders, we are covering basically a lot of things we are covering. And we are going to have it in 2 areas. We are going to have it in Wagner Park. That's the 1st of December at 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. We also going to have worship. We're going to have a live worship. And we're going to have different churches coming together to form that worship group to do worship. And we are going to have our pastors. We are going to have different intercessors. We are going to have even Hispanic praying as well. And so we are going to have pastors, leaders, intercessors really interceding for Coffee County, praying over the county. And and we're going to have it in Manchester at the amphitheater on the 3rd of December, and that's 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. as well. And we're going to have live worship also. And so it's really an honor and to really pray like this over the county. And I said it, I just finished an interview on Thunder Radio talking about it, and I said, what a way to end the year in offering up the county before the Lord. And allowing the Lord to really lead and direct. Because one of the things we are praying for is also wisdom for our leaders as well in one of our prayer points. And we are praying that God will continue to lead our county. We have a new mayor, Chud Martini, that just comes in. And we have a school board, Gary Cardell, which was the former mayor. He just take up the school board. He's on the school board now. So it's a difference with different leaders coming in. We have a lot of aldermen that are new. We have board committees. We have all of those stuff. We are praying for our industry as well, or development as well. We are also praying that the county will be debt-free. We are praying that financial breakthrough will come for our county as well. And we are praying that our county will be the #1 county in Tennessee and the #1 county to be content with in this country. We had recently talked about we just started our non-profit organization that the Lord has led me to do for our first responders, the RUHAC of Coffee County's first responders. And we are going to do something that maybe this country has never seen before in terms of our supporting our first responders. And that covers all first responders that are working for the government, whether you serve as a fire, as a police, as an EMT, or as a rescue, as in the rescue squad, or even in the hospital, we'll go there as well. And so we are going to do something new. We are going to do something amazing in this county that's going to really look beautiful. So that's a little bit. We know we don't have a lot of time, but that's a little bit in a nutshell. We just want to put that out. But it's going to be amazing. So everyone can come out and support, come pray with us. Come and intercede with us for your county. I'm from Jamaica. I'm not from here, but this is my home. And everywhere I go, it's my home. We have traveled to multiple nations over the last so many years, me and my wife, leading teams to many different nations. And we are here in the U.S. and we do the same. It's our home. It has become our home. Our kids love it. And we are just doing what God called us to do here, to serve.
So we're lucky. We're lucky that you're here.
I'm lucky to be here.
Well, but it takes someone with passion and someone with drive and thought and care to make these things happen. And you're the firebrand that that starts the flame. And once the flame gets started, it's not easy to get it started, but once it gets started, it'll stay lit as long as there's someone there putting fuel on the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And you're the one that's striking the match, and that's a very important thing, to have people who are willing to sacrifice their time, their energy, because dollars are involved. I don't care whether you write a check, just the time that you spend.
Yes.
Your time is worth. You could be spending that time doing something else, but you've chosen to do this.
Yes.
And we thank you for that. We're glad at P-Head Productions and Channel 6 TV to be involved.
Yeah.
And
I'm honored.
We just don't let anybody walk in.
Yes,
but
sir.
You're an impressive young man, and I'm glad you stopped by.
Thank you so much, sir.
So good luck to you.
It's an honor.
Okay.
It's really a blessing.
We'll see you on TV.
Yes, sir. Thank
We'll
you.
be right back after these messages.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we're back, and Peg, what do we got?
Oh.
Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and I hope you have lots to eat, and be sure and share it with somebody that doesn't have lots to eat.
And if you have an opportunity, watch a good movie together.
What would be your favorite movie of all times to watch?
Oh, I don't know. There's so many of them. I love one of my movies that I really, really enjoy, and it's not new, but it's the Green Book.
I watched...
and that's about the guy who lives at Carnegie Hall.
Oh, okay. I recently watched a lot... some fried green tomatoes.
Yeah.
I loved that. I hadn't seen it in like many years, but I watched that last weekend. It was really... I liked it.
Yeah, find a movie where nobody dies in it, and watch that. Don't be killing monsters and robots and stuff. Find something with real people in it, and everybody ends up smiling at the end of it. Because we have so much to be thankful for in our little town, in our United States of America. And one thing I want to do is thank all of our veterans and our first responders. The small percentage of our society in the United States of America stands on the wall and makes it possible for us to celebrate the freedoms we have.
That's true.
Please treat them with respect, because without them, you might be living in Afghanistan or somewhere with no water and no food.
It's
so
true.
Remember our vets.
we wanted to show something from the Young Musician Showcase, and
Okay.
today we're going to show Ethan Eldridge on the euphonium. Wonderful musician.
Happy Thanksgiving.